Closed captioning for the Casey Malone Show is sponsored by Hunter Stevens Land Title Agency. Integrity, service, and commitment you can trust.
Oh yeah, Casey Malone is serving up local. It's time for the stories of our region, the tastes, the sights, the sounds, and the people in and around the valley. Get ready for some local flavor on the Casey Malone Show.
Today we learn the do's and don'ts of recycling from the Green Team. And we visit Penguin City Brewery. It is fantastic. But first, comfort food. Ham and bean soup for the cooler weather.
You better come on in my kitchen.
Well, today I'm going to make one of my favorite comfort foods. I love ham and bean soup. All you need is a ham bone, leave a little bit of the ham on the bone, and some white beans. I'm going to use navy beans, but you could use cannellini. You could use whatever you'd like to use, Great Northern. And this is really so easy. Ham is readily available. It's always inexpensive, and especially around the holidays, people serve hams. So save that bone, save the extra ham on the bone, and you can join me, and we are going to make ham and bean soup. For this recipe, you'll need 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 2 to 3 chopped carrots, 2 to 3 stalks of celery chopped, 2 medium onions chopped, 3 cloves of garlic chopped, 8 cups or 2 32-ounce cartons of chicken stock, 3 15-ounce cans of navy beans drained and rinsed, a bouquet garni of fresh thyme and rosemary, 1 bay leaf, 1 ham bone, and chopped fresh parsley for garnish. Well, we're gonna spend most of the time at the stove. This is really easy, and we are just gonna start throwing everything together. Over medium heat, I have heated up the olive oil, and we are just going to add the Holy Trinity, well, there's more than the Holy Trinity, of ingredients. We are gonna just get all the mirepoix in there. So the celery, the garlic, the onion, and the carrots. So what we're gonna do is just stir these around for about 5 minutes until they soften, and then we'll start with the stock and all of the other herbs. Well, these have softened up nicely. It's been about 5 minutes. So now we are going to add the stock. I like stock more than broth because I think it's a little richer, but you could use really either one. And I think chicken's the best. And I really wish I had the time to make chicken stock, and I did that, but I don't. I have to buy it. And so you can use this. Just squeeze it right out, just like Mommy used to make. And I'm gonna throw in a bay leaf, and I'm gonna get really fancy. My bouquet garni. Okay, this is fresh rosemary and thyme. And you just bundle it up and you pop it in. But if you don't have that, you could use like a teaspoon of dried rosemary, dried thyme. And then we are going to put the star of the show in, the bone with the meat. And look at all these beans. Now this is 3 cans, but it is ham and bean soup. So we are gonna drop all of this in. See, that's why I'm using the Dutch oven. But if you have a big soup pot, you can use that too. So what I'm gonna do is put this on high. I am going to bring this to a boil, and then I'm gonna put the lid over it. And it'll simmer for about 45 minutes to an hour. I mean, this is really a quick soup. So this is at a nice rolling boil. I am going to put the lid on, and I'm going to put it on simmer, and we'll check on this in about 45 minutes.
Hey, what's up? I'm back.
You're back.
Yes.
You love this soup, don't you?
I'm a big fan of the ham bone. Yeah.
All right, so I am taking out the, how about my fancy term? Garni, or no, bouquet garni.
Wow.
Okay, so
Sounds
that's gone.
expensive.
That's gone.
Okay.
Now, why don't you take care of the ham?
All right.
Get the ham out, and then we're gonna cut it up.
Do I get the marrow?
You can have whatever you want.
Oh, so special.
And then let's take it over here and slice off the good ham to put back in the soup.
Sure. Okay, so...
We don't want the fat.
I'm sure like something like that.
Yeah, because there's a lot of good little pieces on there. I tried to save a lot on it. Yeah,
Right.
and then we'll slice it into little...
Yep, it's rolling. Is it still alive? Nah,
Just little piggy.
There
Yeah,
you go.
there we go. And then we'll
like
just...
pieces like that.
Oh, look at how beautiful. Yeah, wow, it's flying.
Can you get me a little spoon?
Sure.
I'll go for the marrow when I'm done with this.
That's good.
And then we'll just keep that for decoration.
Okay.
And this goes right back in.
Yeah, except for the big part, okay?
Okay, there you go.
All right, and now I'm going to adjust the seasonings.
All right.
Let it warm through just a little bit. So we got all this stuff out. Now, it is very soupy. It is a little more
looks
like a
good.
soup. But if you want to thicken it up, just remove some of the beans, mash them, put them back in, and that helps thicken the soup. But let me see here. Oh, it's very good. Very good.
I can't wait.
Except it needs a little salt and pepper. And you know what else is nice? To add like onion salt if you think it's lacking in something.
Flavor.
Well, you know, sometimes you don't want it to just be ham soup.
Right.
So, yeah, this will be a lot better. All right, couple minutes, we are going to be eating soup. And then a little fresh
wait, I can't wait.
parsley. There you go.
I thought there was already a garnet in there.
Well, yes, but this is the garnish.
So a little more.
Not the bouquet garni. Well, I can't wait for you to try it.
I'm really looking forward to
Little
it.
bit
My
of,
spoon is actually in the soup.
That's right.
But I've been
leftover.
interrupted.
What do we do with leftover swine? We make it into soup.
Why not? All right, let's see.
Wow. This is a really good batch.
You know, I got a big piece of ham with some fat on it.
Now,
and
just how you like it.
I love it. I love it with the beans and everything. It's really hearty.
Right. It is a hearty soup.
I love soup. You know.
So, ham and bean soup. Ultimate classic food. Save those ham bones and go to my website, caseymaloneshow.com, and all the ingredients and all the preparation will be there.
Great.
Thank you, Ken.
You're welcome.
Take off with the Casey Malone Show. Woo-hoo!
Kamara Jewelers is the place to buy an engagement ring because we want a relationship with you that lasts a lifetime. Your commitment with her is the same commitment we have to you.
We want to sit down with you and teach you about diamonds so you're educated on what you're buying. We have the largest selection we ever have, which is the largest in the area, and at the best value. And if it's not something in our case, we could always custom make it. We can make any dream come true.
Get real, get Kamara.
Rulli Brothers has a great choice of quality cheeses. We use our relationship with Old World Houses to specially select the product and then have it custom cut and packaged by our own local artisans. At Rulli Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
Join the Isle and Purple Cat family. Employment opportunities are available. Given is living. Join the Isle and Purple Cat family. Employment opportunities are available at $13 an hour. Given is living.
I'm all about local, and my bank is Farmers National Bank. Farmers is the true hometown bank in the Mahoning Valley, standing strong for our local families and businesses since 1887. Farmers is also future-focused with a lab branch, interactive teller machines, and best-in-class mobile mortgage app. We've all learned the value of local relationships, businesses, and communities. Switch to Farmers.
I'm Elizabeth Bernard. For For more than 30 years, I've provided our Valley with sound legal advice. My associate Jennifer Rigetti and I will be your legal representatives if you're involved in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident. Don't try to handle it yourself. We'll navigate the red tape of dealing with doctors, medical insurance, and all the obstacles that you'll face. Remember, there are no upfront fees on personal injury cases, and hiring a lawyer does not mean you have to go to court.
Call attorney Elizabeth Bernard, local legal experience for more than 30 years.
Well, I am here with Aspasia, one of the owners of the Penguin Brewing Company, and it's been a while since we've been down here. New digs. I love it. I mean, we were at the B&O the last time, and you have just blown up.
Yeah.
Did this all go down during the pandemic?
Yeah. Most people picked up reading during COVID.
Yeah.
We decided to buy a warehouse.
I mean, I cannot believe, how long did it take to put this together? Because when I first saw what you bought,
yeah,
you have just changed. I love it. I mean, it is perfect.
Is
this what you envisioned?
Oh yeah. Oh, most definitely. Even from when we started talking about this whole project, I envisioned it to become this one day, eventually. So it's kind of amazing that it actually happened and, you know, came to fruition.
And the amount of beer that you can brew now, how much, was it triple, quadruple the production?
Yeah, we can do like 240 barrels, probably more. We can, you know, we can really push beer out now into like Ohio, Western PA.
Well, I love
West
all your
Virginia.
local, okay, so you're at Scrappers, you're YSU.
Yeah.
What other tentacles are out there? What, you know, all the local involvement?
Well, we distribute in over 450 locations across the valley now. Before when we talked, I think we were at 200. So, you know, we doubled where we are. You know, the Scrappers was a huge partnership. We're so excited to be partners with them. Always excited to be partners with YSU. We work so well together. I just feel like that fits just perfectly with what our mission is, what they're trying to do.
What other, you're doing an ale now for the holidays or for the fall season?
Yeah, we released our first seasonal out of the brewery, and that was our Oktoberfest beer.
Yes.
So that was the very first seasonal that came out of here. It was well received. It's been our top seller since it's released here in the tap room and just out into, you know, the wild. And it's been doing really well. And next up is our winter warmer ale. And that's going to be distributed starting mid-October.
Well, Aspasia's father, Lou, is one of the owners and investors in this.
Yes.
And at the beginning, you weren't with Penguin Beer.
No, not in the very beginning. It was just Aspasia, Richard, John, and George. George is my son, also.
And it really blew up quickly. I mean, it really caught on and became successful.
It caught on quickly, and as we were talking about before, this building, this place is what Aspasia wanted from the beginning. I was against it at first because, you know, actually building a new building is cheaper than refurbishing a building. But this is what she wanted. I got invested in here last year, early on last year, right when we bought the building is when I got involved.
You know, as Aspasia is, you know, passionate about Youngstown and, you know, bringing back, you know, the East End. I mean, really, this really has changed this end of downtown. Well, Richard is the owner / head brewer, and you have taken on a huge responsibility.
Oh, yeah.
From, you know, from where your humble beginnings were.
Mm-hmm.
How do you learn about all this volume and how to get all this stuff together? I mean, it's overwhelming.
It is overwhelming. I mean, you can start with some books, the internet, ask some local brewers some questions. A lot of it's just doing it. You know, you need a good base of knowledge to make sure you're really not screwing up. But as far as equipment, a lot of it is trial and error. Counter pressure fills from these big tanks, the other little tanks, and just, you learn by making a lot of mistakes. That's a good way too.
Okay, and well, and yeah, errors. So now these tanks here, they are going to go directly into your tap system right here. And do they start up there and get pumped down?
Yes. So I will take finished, bright carbonated beer from one of our large tanks.
Those huge tanks.
Yes, and it'll have to travel about through about 170 feet of stainless steel piping, and you can see it come down on this zigzag one here. So I'll take it.
And you just swing it right over.
Yeah. You know, we have to be careful about a few things. It's a counter pressure fill. You don't want to have too much pressure differential between the two, so you don't get all foamy. So that's
pressure differential, and then I'm learning about oxygen and CO2,
Oh, yeah.
and I mean it's a lot of science.
Yeah, I mean right now I'm purging the tank so that we don't have any oxygen in it when I transfer the beer.
Oh wow, that is really nicely balanced. Not too much spice, you know, but it's got a lot of you know, there's different flavors, but not the sweet, which I don't like.
Yeah, I didn't spice it at all, so it's just the magic of beer that produces these flavors.
Really? Do you go different with the grains then?
Yes. Yeah, it's the sweetness from this. A lot of it's coming from the Vienna and Munich. Munich adds a little richness to it.
Oh, I can smell Munich. Berlin.
Oh, yes.
I can smell it all. And I think your partnership with the Cockeye Barbecue is brilliant because then you don't have to get into the food business. And they're excellent. That ice cream is off the hook. When will that all take place? How much longer do you think?
We're hoping in 2023. I mean, we're still dealing with the effects of COVID, still dealing with supply chain issues, restaurant equipment, still, you know, taking time to come. So, you know, we have food trucks right now at our tap room, so there's no pressure. Whenever they're ready to come in, we're ready for them. So.
The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor. Well, I am here with Rude the Dude from the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery. Change of season, that means updated menu.
Yes, we just came out with our new menu. We got some old favorites and twist on the new things. Our fall drink menu is out, coming soon also. But we got a lot of things going on with the change of the season here.
And what about football on Sundays? All these screens, this is a happening place.
Yes, we are now the home of the Youngstown Browns backers. We're open every Sunday from 12 to 8 with some great drink specials. So if you're a Browns fan, it's the place to be.
And don't forget, I hate to mention it, but the holidays are just around the corner.
Yep, right around the corner, and we have our catering season coming. So we have our banquet hall, holds up to 150, good for family Christmas parties, work Christmas parties. And if you can't come here, we can do the cooking for you and bring it to you.
Remember, always think about the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery for all your occasions.
Donate now. GavaCamp has a generous family that will match every dollar you donate. Help us build a barrier-free educational camp for our friends with special needs. Visit our website or call for more details. Giving is living.
Rulli Brothers is way ahead of the competition. Check out Rulli Spice World, where you can buy bulk herbs and spices, plus candies, nuts, and fillings for pennies on the dollar. At Rulli Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
Kim Lewis is the environmental educator for the Green Team here in Mahoning County. And we had the best discussion when we were talking about this segment. And I think that people really mean well when they go to recycle. Mahoney County, here's a fun fact, is the only county in Ohio that
actually provides curbside recycling free to the participant. The only district in the state of Ohio that provides that. I know. People don't realize that.
We are really lucky to get that service done, but people do it improperly.
You know what? When you put those bottles into the bin, remove and discard the lids.
And those just are gonna have to go in your garbage, right?
Yeah.
Once we get all of these things assembled, where do they go? Where do you guys take them?
Well, there's a journey. There's a journey. And so everything first goes to a transfer station, which is actually located at the Carbon Limestone landfill. Now there, the initial sorting is conducted. So they take out the items like, I hate to say it, but things like lawn chairs and office furniture, and then that material goes on another journey. And it ends up in Akron at a place called a MRF, MRF, Material Recovery Facility.
And that is where the line is, where you said it's like Lucy and Ethel at the candy factory.
Yeah, it is.
And they pick through everything.
Oh yeah. Everything gets tipped on the floor and then put on a big conveyor belt. And then there's some mechanical sorting, like with the magnets and the eddy magnets, some lasers, but most of this is done by people.
We have like a plastic container here without the lid, so this is proper. Is this valuable?
Well, now that is a number 2 high-density polyethylene plastic, and the primary end use for that is not a new bottle, I'll tell you that. It's plastic lumber. And so, you know what, right here in the park you would see examples of playground equipment, park benches, picnic tables made from that material.
So we can resell this?
Yes.
And what about glass?
Okay, glass. The old glass is primarily manufactured into new glass, and you have to be really careful with the glass, Casey. Only bottles and jars, no lids, and nothing like window panes or aquariums or Pyrex.
Dishes.
Nothing like dishes.
No.
Nothing
no glass
like
dishes.
that.
Metals.
Okay, so we do take the food cans.
Yes.
And we take the beverage cans. And again, the old steel food cans are made into new ones. And that's what we call closed loop recycling, when your old product is made into the same thing again.
What about cartons?
Cartons. A lot of people are confused on the cartons. That is actually a material we didn't take in the past, but we do take now. And so it does have a poly coating, but that can be removed during the manufacturing process when they make new paper products. So we do take cartons. If it's one of those cartons that has a plastic lid, again,
throw that lid away. Styrofoam is never taken anywhere. So if you get an egg carton or a carryout container, those must go in the garbage.
And styrofoam, you know what? Avoid it. If anybody wants to know how to avoid it, I've got tips on how to avoid it. Call me, go on my Facebook, check with me.
It seems that, we're going for a carton of eggs. Usually there's the cartons like this, which are recyclable. And even if it's $1 more, not $1, a couple pennies more, I try to always get that because I know styrofoam is bad.
Yeah, we've been recycling paper products forever, and we still are. So your newsprint, your magazines, phone books, paper board, like the egg carton you mentioned, and cereal boxes, all of that can be recycled, old into new.
The only thing that we can't put in our curbside is the cardboard. And I know with especially the pandemic, I'm getting a lot more boxes because a lot more thing is being purchased remotely.
Sure.
And just break them down and take them right here to your recycling centers, and they're all over the place. Here's something. It says no plastic bags. We're here at the Boardman Township Park recycling area. And look what's right here.
I know.
Right here.
I know.
Is a plastic bag. Now, What's going to happen to this, Kim?
Well, let me tell you, since I'm here today, I'm going to take care of this, but usually I'm not here, and this is what would happen. This would end up at the MRF on the conveyor belt.
And they'll just toss it.
It'll just go right off that belt into the landfill bin.
What other pet peeves or what else should we be aware of that we should avoid when we purchase for containers and things like that?
Bottled water. Oh my goodness, there is no reason we should be drinking bottled water in those single-use containers.
Yes.
Just try to forego the bottled water, those single-use containers. I mean, that's the most inefficient way to consume water, is to get it in a single-use bottle that, you know, that plastic bottle is made from oil that they drill for, and you use it once and come on, there's no logic in it, Casey. We have a lot of drives coming up, electronics. The household hazardous waste drive is actually coming up very soon. We've got the, the tire recycling drive. And then a lot of the townships are having metal appliance drives and even paper shredding events. But anything like that anybody is interested in, they just have to contact us.
The Casey Malone Show is sponsored in part by Denise and John York and the DeBartolo Corporation.